I made just over £400 over the last 2 days trading. Watch this video to find out how. What's up people, it's Any aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms, and if you check that description section below you'll see a link to my mailing list. Also check out my free Discord group called Pip Talks with Infinite Investors, where like-minded traders and investors can talk about everything and anything to do with trading and investing. Two main trades I want to cover today, and two main trades I made money in. Number one was Flutter Entertainments. Okay, I want to talk to you about PPB. PPB is Flutter Entertainment. Do you know who Flutter Entertainment is, guys? So Flutter Entertainment, the reason why I want to talk about Flutter Entertainment is because I ripped this out of the Metro. Now I don't expect you guys to be able to read this. Now, if you know anything about Flutter Entertainment, you know I've been talking about this for months. I was saying from since about January that this stock is a stock that needs to be shorted. The main reason was because the fundamentals and the technicals were really coming in line and were both telling me that it needed to be shorted. So from a fundamental aspect, Flutter Entertainment is actually the trading name of Paddy Power and Betfair. Now, long before the virus that shall not be named really started taking effect on the markets, this company was already in dire issues and dire need of help because one, the gambling commission had stopped credit card payments to be made to deposit into betting accounts. So that means that anyone that wanted to credit their betting account couldn't use a credit card. So that was a major hit for the industry. Number two, once the virus that shall not be named hit, all horse racing, all sports, all live sports were stopped. And when live sports are suspended, then there's nothing to bet on. And that's really going to hit them hard. So once this happened, share prices plummeted. Now, it bounced back as most shares did over the last couple of days, but then I saw it consolidate here, and that's where I saw, okay, there's an opportunity to take another short. I thought I'd missed the biggest play here. Well, I did short it, but I shorted it on my demo account, but I wanted to make some real money. But I thought I'd missed the big sell-off, but it bounced back and I saw an opportunity to maybe short it again. So I thought, just to make sure that this trade was the right trade to make, I checked out Short Tracker. If any of you don't know about Short Tracker, check out my video about the top 10 trading related websites that I like to use. Short Tracker is one of them. Now, Short Tracker is a website that aggregates all of the short selling opportunities that hedge funds or institutional traders make in the UK. So what that means is that if a lot of institutional fund managers and traders short specific stocks, the ones that are they have like almost like a chart, a list of the most shorted stocks at any given moment. Right now, Paddy Power Betfair, which is Flutter Entertainment's one and the same thing, has 13% short, which means it's the second most shorted stock right now in the UK. So that really gave me a bit more confidence in the fact that my trade was a good idea, because if institutional money is being shorted, and these guys are really intelligent guys that normally make better decisions than retail traders, if they're shorting, then I must be onto something, as I've been talking about this way back when, since about January. So that gave me a lot of confidence. And what also gave me a lot of confidence was that not only was it the second most shorted stock, but also there's still investment funds that are still adding to their short position as late as today, as late as yesterday. So that means that the short position play is still valid if fund managers and institutional investors are still adding to their short position as opposed to peeling away. So I thought this was another great reason why I think it was a good reason to short. But I'm going to get back to the technicals now. So if you look at it on the daily chart, it doesn't really tell you much. This information just looks like it looks quite scatty. It doesn't look like there's opportunities here. But if you go down into like the 2-hour chart, for example, then you start to see, okay, it looks like a horizontal wedge. A wedge is forming. So what I did was that once I saw this wedge was forming, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a great opportunity to short. So the minute the market opened today, I actually took a short position quite high. And then I rode it down to the bottom, and then I exited my position for about, I don't know how much I made. I think I made about £150 or something like that. I do believe price is going to break this support line and then sell off some more. So that's why I re-entered another position. So I closed it up when it hit the support line, but then I thought, okay, there's no point closing it out there because I feel like there's more for the trade to make. So I re-entered. So there was no real point in me re-entering. I shouldn't have closed out in the first place, but I think I just got a little bit nervous. But I re-entered another short, and then now I'm up 46 pounds as well. But I think once it breaks this support and starts selling off some more, I believe it's gonna sell off. I've got 2 profit zones that I think it's gonna sell off to. I think that you can either sell off to about 620, well 6200, or about 5512 or something like that. But I'm just gonna play it by ear and see how it sells off. Also, if you look at the MACD on the 4-hour chart, you can tell that it looks like there's way more to go. As you can see, the MACD line is crossed over and it looks like it's about to sell off. It's quite shallow, which I don't really like because I like to see it a bit more steeper, but it's still crossing over, and I believe that it's still got a couple more candlesticks to go in the red before it potentially changes direction. So hopefully tomorrow I see a big sell-off and it breaks support. Once it breaks support, then I think that it's going to be clear sailing down. It's just going to carry on selling off. The rule of thumb when it comes to symmetrical wedges is that whatever this distance is, so you can measure it in a couple of different ways. You could use this distance if you want to be really conservative, or you can even use this distance. But those distances will dictate where it's going to sell off to. So I think this is quite conservative, but I'll take the conservative approach and I will use this distance. So if you go from there to there, that can give you kind of rough estimate of where the profit zone, the take profit zone should be. So around there. But I'm going to keep it a little bit higher, and I'm just going to move it as I see fit. And when the take profit zone, when it stops selling off, the way I'll know when to exit my position is probably when the MACD or RSI either becomes oversold, the RSI becomes oversold, and the MACD starts flatlining. So once it starts flattening out, the gradient flattens out. At that point, I think I'll take my profits. But I still think that there's way more to go for Flutter Entertainment. But so far, I've made some money off it, but I think there's way more to make. And trade number 2 was SQQ. Rhymed. If you watched my live stream that I did a couple days ago, 2 days ago, you would have seen that I was talking about SQQ. I showed that I'd entered that position and entered a long position SQQ. And the reason I'd entered a long position was because on the, let me go down, on the, was it 30-minute chart or was it even 15-minute chart? The lines are even on here. Okay. I'll just have to draw the lines again. But the reason why I drew a SQQ was because there was a wedge pattern forming. So it was from, I think it was from here to here, something like that. Can't remember where it is. No. Something like that, something like that. Let's go down into a short time frame. Yep, see, yeah, that's it. It was a wedge pattern. It was a falling wedge, and we know that, and we all know that falling wedge. Well, we may not all know, but if you don't know, a falling wedge, when you see a falling wedge, the minute it breaks out of that resistance line, it's gonna climb up and skyrocket. So that's what I did. I took a long position here and I rode it up, and I made about £200 on that trade, because I rode it up just from literally from the breakout point up to there. So there was about 200 pips. Yeah, made £200 in the matter of like one day. So that was a good 1 day of trading that was made. Some profits were made. Oh, sorry, I'm kind of gassy. So I made £200 with that, but I believe it's gonna carry on going up. But yeah, I just took my money and exited. It's still climbing. I still think it's got further to go, but I'm in other position right now, and I don't want to overstretch myself by taking too many different positions, especially positions that are correlated, because SQQ is the inverse of QQQ. It was the inverse of TQQ, which is correlated to QQQ. So if you look at QQQ, I'll show it to you there, triple Q. Because it's inversely correlated to SQQ, you'll see that it's moving in the same motion but the other way. So yeah, QQQ is kind of like it's an ascending wedge, and then it starts selling off. So as you can see, it's moving the same way but in the opposite direction. And QQQ's correlated to the Nasdaq, which is the US Tech 1000. as you can see, that's selling off as well. The reason why it's selling off is the same reason why the DAX is selling off, which is the same reason why the Dow Jones is selling off, which is the same reason why the ASX is selling off. All the world indexes are all correlated, so they all move in similar fashions. And from what I said about the DAX is that I said that I think that it's triple topped here, and it's going to be a dead cat bounce. I remember I spoke about a dead cat bounce, and I think that's what's causing the world indexes to sell off. Because historically, when indexes have sold off this much, whether it's due to a recession or due to something like this, well, nothing like this has ever happened, not in living history or living memories. It's like the Black Plague. But when something drastic happens that makes the market to sell off that much, very seldom do you see a V-shaped recovery. You hear them talk about V-shaped recovery a lot on Bloomberg and CNBC, but I don't think it's something that's really going to happen here. And V-shaped recovery means that it recovers in the same fashion that it fell, so it will come up with the same strength that it sold off. And I do not see that happening in this situation, primarily because of the pandemic, because of the situation we're in. Demand and supply has been hit so much that it's really unrealistic to expect the bounce back to be that vigorous. In reality, what would happen is what's happened previously in situations that haven't been as dire as this, where there'll be a major sell-off and then the recovery will hit a low, find the support, and then it'll come up a little bit, then retest that previous low again, maybe do it once more, either retest it or come a little bit higher, and then it'll start climbing. And when it starts climbing, it's not going to be something like drastic like this. It's going to take some time. It's going to recover over time. It's going to be a long and drawn out process, because the thing that made it sell off has had such an impact. The impact to the economy isn't something that's going to recover fast, because so many people have lost their jobs, so many companies in debt, so many companies have gone bust, that it's going to take a while for the economy to bounce back from the losses that have been made because of the situation we're in. So that's why I believe there's going to be a dead cat bounce, because I've seen this situation play out before in situations that haven't been as wild as the situation we're in right now. I hope that makes sense. Yes, me, it's Any, aka the Noctrader, signing out.